what is the biggest problem? It's the fact that we are all concentrated on who will take the higher and more powerful position. And many times, the same things happen in our personal life too. But when we have problems, humbling ourselves usually helps to solve them. When our souls are geniusly awakened to the truth, is it when everything is going well? Or is it when we are standing before hopelessness and desperation? We become more thoughtful and understand the more profound ideas of the life in the deep and dark valley. As the night gets darker, the light becomes brighter. When we sing in the heart of the night, it's completely different than when we sing in the daytime. This applies to all of us. We learn the more when we are discouraged and experience failure than when we are doing well. We always rely on God when we are low and miserable, unlike when we are confident and successful. In the valley of darkness, God fixes us and opens our mind to spatial world. When you are troubled, think of the humble Jesus Christ who was born in a manger. I hope you experience God's blessing, which is upon the humble-hearted. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, the second lesson we learned from the main text is Jesus is with us. Why don't you read the book of Matthew chapter 1 verse 23.
The virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us.
The Bible says that the baby Jesus would be called what? Emmanuel. As you know, the meaning of Emmanuel, God is with us. A long time ago, one uncertain deaconess told me she had visited a suicide website. She said she had wanted to find a way to die without pain. How hard and miserable her life must be for her to consider suicide. I felt really sorry for her. I sympathized with her, so I also visited the suicide website. I don't want to die. So I just was curious about why she just decided to hang on the world by herself. There was one note that read, I want to know the address of this suicide website. Please send me some cyanide. I know many of you have tried to persuade me not to commit suicide. And you may have some advice for me, but I don't want any more advice. Why do I have to suffer this pain even I am so young? I don't want to live any longer. Just please help me. There were so many replies on the note. One person even gave the writer their phone number. One writer wrote, please let me know that all is well. I tried to hang myself last night, but I couldn't do it. I have the debt that I must pay back, which has made things very difficult. I wanted to die, so I tried to hang myself, but that was difficult. If you know any of a successful suicide method, please let me know. There were many similar notices I could can find in this website. Can we also relate it to these people? Have you ever felt like you were standing on a cliff? Or have you ever thought that life is void and empty? Haven't you ever felt like no one was there for you when you really needed someone? Have you ever considered that even your ancestors had to cross through troublous waters? All of us have experienced sometime this moment. There once was a very fascinating woman, and she could easily win the heart of any man, but she was always alone. One day she met a man and fell in love with him. He was so kind and sweet. She felt truly comfortable with him. But as time went by, he became cold and not so sweet anymore. So once again, she became lonely. One day, she met another young man and charming guy. She felt rejuvenated when she was with him. So she broke up with the first man and fell in love with him, the young man. But it didn't last long. The next man was popular and famous. Wherever he went, he enjoyed being recognized by people. Since she was with him, she also was notified and noticed by the people too. It had been such a long time since she felt such happiness. However, he was always busy. Soon her life became boring. Eventually, she met another guy. This man was poor but very kind. She felt uneasy with him. She decided to stay with him forever. But it wasn't easy to make money. She was always worn out and tired. Once again, she broke up with him. She began to miss being with a person, so she met another guy who showed her kindness. She had learned to not expect it a lot, so she wasn't disappointed. This was the end of her love story. She kept changing her lover over and over again. This is the story of Samaritan woman in the Bible, John chapter 4. If she hadn't met Jesus, she would have continued looking for the suitable man. I want to just ask you one question. Who is beside you right now? Neither money nor honor can fill your heart. Only Jesus can. Jesus was born on this earth so that he could be with us all the time as he promised. We should be closer to him than with anyone else. Then we will find peace and ease. We can overcome your heart. Meditate on his life often. Try to think of the meaning of his birth. This will change any attitude about life, no matter what your situation is. Amen. God is with us. This is the greatest comforting promise for us who live in this desolate world. When your life seems too tough, please remember this Bible verse. Amen. The third lesson we learned from the main text. Jesus is the God who delivers us from sin. Why don't you read Matthew chapter 1, verse 21.
She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins.
The angel told Mary and Joseph that they should give him the name, what? Jesus. Jesus means the one who will deliver his people from sins. Jesus came to the earth to save people from their sins. One day, Korea just voted for our president. Despite of his many weaknesses, people chose him thinking that he would revive the Korean economy. When the economic situation is as hard as it is now, people are interested mostly in their own livelihood. However, real problem is not the economic one. The countries with a high suicide rate are not the poor ones. Strangely, the rich countries have a high suicide rate. The people who feel that happiness are those in the poorest country. The people who became depressed are not poor. Being depressed is too costly for the poor, right? They cannot afford to be depressed because they have to work hard to make a living. However, the well-educated and the rich often are depressed. Economic growth is not the right answer to this problem. Neither is wealth nor the fair distribution of goods. Even the people of countries who have welfare are not satisfied with their lives. We are unhappy because of sin. We have no peace in our heart